Scorpio, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late January, moving into early February 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for Scorpio gang. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, what do we got for Scorpio? What do you got for us in late January, early February? What energies, messages, insights do you take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Scorpio gang. Please, what is the vibe? What is the energy swirling around us, please? Get this card out here nice and quick. Thank you very much. Okay, a little sleepy there, huh? Now, this does feel like a pretty chill energy, so I'm hoping that this does carry over into the reading itself. You see this individual looks like she's kind of folded up, like taking a nap or doing yoga or something. But to me, the vibe, it feels pretty mellow, okay, which is a little peculiar. Usually the Scorpio readings, we lead off with some intensity, right? Before we fully dive into it, though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the January subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more about this card. So for some of us, this might just be a little bit of advice, right? I already mentioned this, a very serene type of card. The lady, it's like she's sleeping or napping or doing yoga or meditating. There's like a rainbow, there's like still water going on. So it's just a really calm, chill atmosphere. So for some of us, maybe Spirit's asking us to practice a little mindfulness, quiet down our minds, quiet down our energy, get in touch with our inner voice. That could very much be a possibility. For some of you, like, yeah, maybe you are practicing some of the things I already spoke about. Now, when I do see things considering sleep or concerning sleep, might mean you need a little bit of rest. Make sure you rest, recuperate, recharge the batteries, because I do know Scorpio energy very well, being a Scorpio moon, and I know that we're usually go, 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 like all gas, no brakes. Sometimes we need to pump the brakes a little bit, though. And again, you do as you wish, but that's kind of just how it's showing up to me. Yeah, I mean, this could speak about interesting dreams, so I wouldn't be surprised if you do have some like interesting, vivid, funky dreams in this time as well. But yeah, very mellow. It's just chill. So that could be a good thing. We're just going to leave it at that, though. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say the first card here doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Let's shuffle it up one time here for you, Scorpio. What do we got, my guides? And while we get this shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. Very powerful energy. It was titled Karma Gets Served. There were powerful karmic archetypes in the hands of the universe were working. They were at play. So just know, I mean, energy could bleed over from week to week. I wouldn't be surprised if the karmic energy is still sticking around. I'm not sure if you're going through a cycle, going through a process, where somebody kind of gets what they've put out into the universe, whether that's good or bad. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone, so only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for Scorpio gang to start. What do we got in late January, early February, please? It's Aquarius season, okay? World, yeah, the karmic energy is still here with the world. That doesn't necessarily feel bad to me. This could be a really good card. Let's get a couple more. Why is this, it's so quiet, Scorpio. I'm like perplexed. This is totally different from what we usually get. We have the 4 of Swords in the center. It's so chill, it's almost eerie, if that makes sense. Let's get one more. Let's get one more. Not sure if any of you are dealing with situations like that, where it's like it's quiet, a little too quiet. Okay, we got the Star card. Now, I will say these cards do lean very much towards the positive. It's like we have short-term, we have double karmic energy, we have long-term energy. So it's like we do have a little bit of everything happening. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, elementally, there is strong fixed energy right here in the front end with the world. I mean, it's a slow mover. I do like it. But we also have a lot of air. Okay, we have the 4 of Swords, we have the Star card, Aquarius energy, air sign energy. And air usually represents the realm of the mind, Also communication represents strategy and planning. And remember, I was speaking about this, like there's something about the mindset here, especially with the Four of Swords. Like it seems quiet, a little too quiet. I don't know why I keep feeling that and saying it. So we're just going to definitely have to see what shows up when we start clarifying it. But there's good energy here. Like, I mean, there's a little bit of everything. So let's start deconstructing this. Let's go through piece by piece and really start to build this out. So position number one, we are starting with the World. So just like we saw last week, karma gets served. This is one of the biggest karmic cards in the whole entire deck. So we see this individual, and I always say this is the last of the major arcana. So this does represent completions, something finally reaching a crescendo or reaching like a peak of some sort. This is good. Now this can, yeah, chapters closing, chapters ending, but it's not like the Ten of Swords. It's not like, oh, there's an ending and there's a lot of pain attached to it. This is more of like, all right, we're closing that chapter, we're opening another. And listen, Scorpio to Scorpio, you know, that's a cycle that we live through very intensely over and over and over again most of the time. So this is a comfortable energy, even though I see it here. Now, it does connect to the karmic energies. And again, that's not a scary energy for Scorpios normally, because all the cards in the tarot deck that represent Scorpio are karmic cards as well. Scorpio is a very karmic sign. So this doesn't make me concerned. Now, the World itself, aside from representing endings and chapters closing and evolution, something reaching its peak, in my style, I say could represent world events. So for some Scorpios, maybe you or someone you're connected to is like heavily invested in world events or affected by them. Moving to the center, we do have the Four of Swords. That's almost picture perfect, the same type of vibe we were picking up here. So we see this person, they're at rest, right? It looks like they're meditating. They're not dead. Don't worry about that. They're sleeping. And it looks like they're praying. So literally same stuff as this. So it's very meditative. It's very calm. It's very relaxed. So I'm not sure if there is a result that you're pleased with and happy with, a chapter closing and you're kind of okay with it. This could represent acceptance. So for a lot of Scorpios, you could be going through a very powerful metamorphosis, but you're okay with it. And if you're not right now, you will be very soon with what I'm picking up in this reading. And I'm getting intuitive stuff, and I didn't even get to that portion of the reading yet. Now, the Four of Swords could represent taking a break. It could represent just taking a pause with something. So there could be various situations where it's like, no, I don't want to end it completely. I just want to take a little break from it. That could very much be the case. You might need some rest, just like we saw with this very first card as well. Now, what's the problem with the Four of Swords? Because every card does have challenges. The Four of Swords can represent issues, it can represent delays, it can represent really clunky situations that don't seem like they're changing. So we really want to clarify it and see what's up. Now, moving to the back end, we have another very positive card. So there's like big picture type of energy showing up for Scorpio this week, because we have the World, final result, but we also have the Star. Now, we are in Aquarius season, so that does change the complexion of this slightly. So the clarifier, if you're not connected to an Aquarius, could tell us some other things that might be coming towards us in the next few weeks, very possible. But this is a card of optimism. When I see the Star, I think of payoffs. I think of wish fulfillment, wishes coming true. And I don't want to be too mushy about it, but the Star is like our end goal, the positive result we want. Think of the Star as not right now, not today, not this week, not this month, or even this year. The Star is long-term energy. So we definitely want to look at this as well, especially if you're not connected to an Aquarius. This could also represent optimism. Okay. Now, what's the challenge of the Star? Sometimes it could represent something that might be taking a little too long, or you wish you had it right now, wish you didn't have to wait for it, where it's like, all right, I'm losing patience here. The Star can also represent pessimism. So hopefully you're not getting into a mental state where you're like, you know, screw it all, like nothing's going to work out. But I want to dive deeper on all of it, Scorpio. Let's do it. Jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. What do we got for Scorpio again, please? What do we got? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. What's going on in the world here? And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Scorpio, you can drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, let's get in on that world here. What's this about? Super quick. Yeah, bring it on. We have the Knight of Wands in the upright. Not sure if you're connected to to a fire sign or not. But when I see the Knight of Wands, it's like, yeah, bring it on. Bring it on. Let's go. Let's speed this up. Let's hurry it up. Now, for a lot of Scorpios, there could be either a chapter closing and you might be happy about it, or you're just like, all right, well, if it is, then it is. Just bring it on. Like, whether it's good, bad, just make it happen already. Like, if there is something that's going to close out, let's close it out. If there's something that's going to change or there's going to be a metamorphosis, let's just do it already. Like, that's kind of the energy I'm picking up here. And that's like why I'm chuckling about it. Like, I find it kind of amusing because I get it. I resonate with it kind of myself. Now, the Knight of Wands is a huge action card, and it is forward momentum. Like I mentioned earlier in the reading, it's all gas, no brakes. Okay, so we're going to have to see what this energy shows us in the center. Now, for a lot of Scorpios, aside from the close or an end of a chapter, or aside from an ending that you're like, all right, well, bring the noise, bring it on. Like, I'm not scared. It's like giving me this kind of energy. That's why I'm chuckling. Aside from that, I mean, that's just taken over my mind right now, but the Knight of Wands is not slowing nothing down. Let's just keep moving. Usually it's a card that, you know, it gets a lot of attention. It's just super fired up, but it's just making me chuckle too much. Let's just keep going. I don't want to get hung up there. So could be a change. I mean, it could be karmic, but at the same time, it's just like, all right, bring it on. So hopefully you're not getting to that point with various situations where you're like, all right, well, whatever it's going to be, just do the thing already. Let's go in on the Four of Swords. Why is it here? And I really want to get to the Star now as well. Cute. I mean, we have the Emperor in reverse underneath the Four of Swords. So for a lot of Scorpios, it's important to always keep in mind, and a lot of you probably already know this. Intuitively, I feel like a lot of you already know this. There are things in life we can control. There are things in life that we can't. And I feel like for a lot of Scorpios in this time, you could be reaching a place or have already reached a place where it's like, okay, well, if I can't control it, then screw it. I'm not putting energy into it. If it's not something that I can't control, if I can't control the outcome with my actions, then why am I even going to stress it? That's how it feels to me. Notice we have a lot more fire underneath the surface as well. So we have the Emperor in reverse, Aries energy, Aries, the initiator. And I always say this because I have Aries and Scorpio placements. They are similar, believe it or not. And I mean, as someone that has both of those placements, Aries and Scorpio both are ruled by Mars of action. They just take action in different ways. Now, the Emperor is the King of Kings. It's a shot caller. It's very entrepreneurial, and it makes moves, right? And this card can represent control. So when I see it in reverse underneath the Four of Swords, it's like, all right, well, if I can't control the outcome, then I ain't stressing about it. Okay, like if it's not, if there's nothing I can do about it, then I'm not even going to worry about it. Like, so for a lot of you, you could be getting to that mindset. And the weird thing is, it's not like you're getting fed up or someone's getting fed up. It's just like, okay, well, whatever it is, just let it be that already. Like, let's just cut through the fluff. Let's cut through everything. Whatever it is, that's what it is. Like, so do with that what you will. But yeah, Emperor in reverse under the Four of Swords. It's just like, okay, well, I'm not going to stress it. There's nothing I can do about it. Okay, oh well, let's keep moving. Let's keep it moving here. I mean, it feels kind of unbothered too, if that makes sense. Bothered but unbothered at the same time. So peculiar. But let's go in on the Star. Then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow. So why is the Star here for Scorpio gang, please? What is this? Cute. I mean, Three of Cups in reverse underneath the Star card. Fine, I'll do it myself type of energy. Like, I don't need assistance. I don't need help. And listen, again, as I know I mention it a million times every reading because I'm proud of it, Scorpio traits and all that. A lot of times we do feel that we can do things solitary, right? Like we'll do it. If we want to make something happen, we're going to do it on our own, whether you're helping, whether you're not. Now, the Three of Cups in reverse can sometimes represent sticky group situations, sticky third-party things, but I'm not going to go that route. Usually it represents our circle of acquaintance. It's very celebratory too. So I'm seeing a journey, and I see the optimism even in hard times, which is a good thing. So for some Scorpios, this could be a little shot in the arm from Spirit saying like, listen, even in the tough times, try to keep a silver lining. That's very important. So whatever it is you might be experiencing right now, it's always important. See it for what it is. See it honestly, see it truthfully, but always keep a silver lining. That's what I'm picking up here on the back end. Now, the Three of Cups in reverse under the Star card, it's also just, I don't need help to reach what I want to do. I'm going to do it one way. I'm going to do it with or without you. I'm going to do it with your assistance or without it. It's giving me that type of vibe. So do with that what you will. Again, not sure if that's you or another person, but let's go through and do a quick little recap. Maybe some Scorpios just need a little solitude as well in this time. I know that's something we need from time to time, but with the Four of Swords, that. All right, let's go through and do a quick recap before the Shadow card. Interesting reading this week, my friends, as usual. But if you look here in position number one, we have the World with the Knight of Wands, and I already said it's like, all right, well, let's get this over with already. Let's get this moving. If there is a chapter closing, if there is an ending of some sort, it's like, all right, well, whatever it is, bring it, bring the noise, whatever it is, it will be that. I mean, there could be a little like fiery anger of just wanting to get something over with. There could also be an energy of like being disgruntled with the world today, like with all this energy. So there's a lot of stuff happening, but I do feel for a lot of Scorpios, it is a change and you're just ready for it to be complete, or either that or there's a chapter ending. Moving to the center, we have the Four of Swords with the Emperor in reverse. So a lot of you either coming to the realization or having the belief that if there is something that I can't control, if there's something that's out of my hands, I'm not going to give energy to it. There's no point in stressing about it if I can't affect it. That's kind of the big vibe I was picking up here. Either that's advice or where you might be heading to mentally. On the back end, we do have the Star card with the Three of Cups in reverse. So even in the rough times, it's important to try to keep a silver lining. Even if you're looking at some really tough things, try your best to have at least a little speck of optimism. But I'm also getting the energy where it's like, I'm going to reach my end destination with or without someone's help. I'm going to do it with or without you. It's giving me that kind of energy. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further, my friends. Let's get into the shadows, see what's up. I mean, I think I've commented on those cards enough, right? But let's see what's in the shadows here. And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Let's get it going. What's in the shadows here for us this week? What's the shadow side for Scorpio here? Yeah, King of Wands doesn't surprise me because we have the Knight of Wands, we have the Emperor. It's a very similar type of energy. And what the King of Wands is, it's a card of self-confidence, first of all, but it's also a card about where we put our energy. So it fits the bill with what we're seeing here in the spread itself. So the advice that we gave here, especially cutting up the center, when we see the King of Wands in the shadows, unless you're connected to a fire sign, if that's the case, if you're connected to a fire sign, their energy is still influencing you in one way or another. But with the King of Wands as a shadow card, it could literally just be Spirit saying, Scorpio, do not waste your energy. Do not waste your energy on fruitless endeavors. Do not waste your energy on individuals that aren't reciprocating certain things. There might be certain things you want to just make sure you're putting your energy into the right places. Okay, no judgment or anything from my end, but that's what the King of Wands says, especially the shadow side. Now, it could also be very temperamental. It could also be a little unpredictable. So this could also be a warning about our tempers in this time, especially with all the fire we saw in the main spread. So just know you might be a little more aggressive than you normally are, but I don't necessarily feel like that's a bad thing. So Scorpio, please screenshot that too if you want to look at it. But that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The January subscriber surprise. If you would like to get a personal reading from me and get a little forecast for what 2025 has in store for you, you can check out my website and digital calendar at mastermetaphysics.com to look for availability. But for the January subscriber surprise, we are once again giving away 3 copies of the beautiful Everyday Witches Tarot. It's one of my favorite decks. And if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, what is your main goal for the 2025 calendar year? You'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab as usual, my friends. Much love, and I'll see you soon.